The #1 best-selling sports book in America right now is 12, the inside story of Tom Brady's fight for redemption. Tonight, on the eve of the first Patriots preseason game, authors Casey Sherman and Wedge are joining us to talk about it.
Thanks for coming in, guys. They're here to talk about the state of play and the relationship between Tom Brady, Coach Bill Belichick, and owner Robert Kraft, as well as NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, which is very interesting. Thanks for coming in tonight. We always start off by welcoming Casey, who was a writer and news producer here at WBZ for years.
I'm back home.
Before he became famous.
That's right. So welcome home. And the first thing we wanted to talk about is, it's important when you think about Deflategate, for this book, you decided not to take sides.
Right.
And the real news that broke when the book came out was this deal that Roger Goodell offered Tom Brady. Talk about that.
Yeah, we found out that Roger Goodell literally gave Tom Brady a Sophie's choice. He was willing to vacate the 4-game suspension and allow Brady to pay $1 million fine if Brady would throw his equipment managers under the bus and publicly tell the world that these guys tampered with the footballs. Tom Brady wouldn't make that deal.
Why?
Well, there are two, actually, possible reasons. One, it's a moral stand that he was making. Others have come out and said, well, he's also trying to protect his own legacy.
He'd be admitting that something had happened.
Exactly. So only Tom Brady really knows that answer, in my opinion. But you can look at it both ways.
And we should say you spoke with Brady and you had the cooperation of Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We spent time with Mr. Kraft and Jonathan, and also we were able to get some interview time with Tom, which was great. So, but there wasn't a lot of Deflategate talk from Tom. It was mostly Super Bowl stuff.
During the Deflategate saga, Robert Kraft was fighting the NFL at the beginning. At some point, he decided to give up that fight for whatever reasons he might have had. And you write that after being the company man for so long, Tom Brady, with each successive contract, he took less money than maybe he could have gotten on the open market for years, that he felt betrayed by that decision by Robert Kraft. Is that the case?
Well, look, when Deflategate first broke, remember, Bill Belichick was asked about it, and the first thing he said was, go ask Tom. So Tom didn't feel like Belichick had his back. 4 months go by, and Bob Kraft was saying over and over, we're going to fight this, we're going to fight this. All of a sudden, he abruptly drops the appeal. We all watched it on TV. Well, guess what? So did Tom Brady. And when Tom Brady saw that, it was a bombshell to him as well. And he wasn't happy. He called the union and said, what's going on here? Why aren't I getting the support I deserve? And, that was a tough thing for Tom to deal with, I think.
And it appears you think that everything goes back to that moment, that it was kind of a game changer in his relationship with the team, with the coach. You say in the book that the relationship with Robert Kraft has been repaired.
Yeah,
largely?
we're seeing that now. Everything that's unfolding at Gillette Stadium, all of the drama and the intrigue of this season really has its origin story in the Deflategate case, and certainly we write about that extensively in our book. We spent time with Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft, and we saw real love there between the ownership and the player. They weren't talking about Tom Brady as an employee. Bob Kraft was talking about Tom Brady as a son. And there's still a lot of bitterness and anger toward Roger Goodell and toward the NFL. But Bob Kraft, when he made that decision, he had to think about the future of his franchise. If you sue the NFL, then you're on the outside looking in as far as that tight-knit ownership community for the rest of your tenure.
And the seeds of Deflategate really lie in Spygate.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, Roger Goodell was criticized pretty roundly for the way he handled Spygate, in addition to many of the other scandals that he handled after Spygate. But the big thing was Roger Goodell destroyed evidence in that case. He destroyed a bunch of the tapes that possibly could have implicated the Patriots further. So when Deflategate happened, the other owners said, you better get this right. You
say the relationship with Robert Kraft has been repaired. Is that true with Bill Belichick as well? Do you buy into this idea that there's a rift between Brady and Belichick, as has been reported?
Yeah, we do. And I think a lot of it is because Robert Kraft did so much to repair that relationship with Brady, and it culminated with the trade of Jimmy Garoppolo, the heir apparent, last season to San Francisco. We believe that has a direct connection with Kraft's earlier decision. So you take the heir apparent away from Bill Belichick, what do you leave him with? A superstar quarterback quarterback, but maybe has 2 to 3 years in terms of playing at that elite level. So I think Belichick really, has his own anger and resentment toward Brady because of that decision.
It's interesting you mentioned, I'm sorry, Dave, go
I was going
ahead.
to say, I think the Alex Guerrero situation has exacerbated that friction there, and the fact that he's not allowed to be at the Gillette Stadium facilities, and now Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski are also both using Guerrero, and I think that is deeply divided. But when it comes down to X's and O's, I think Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are just fine in putting all this aside.
Do you know if Brady and Coach Belichick still meet every Tuesday alone as they always did?
I mean, we can only presume that it's business as usual. When it comes to the play on the field, they never had a close relationship. They were more, business partners as opposed to actual friends, and there wasn't this great mentorship relationship that they had. So I think for the better good of the team, they do everything the way they've always done. But it's what Brady's not saying in his news conferences. What is your relationship with Belichick? I have no comment, and that I think speaks volumes to what the real deal is between the two.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out and who will play Tom Brady in the movie. We'll have to see. Yeah, I know you guys are talking to Hollywood producers about it.
Yeah, we are. And, I mean, the actor has to be over 6 foot. He's got to throw a mean spiral. I worked with a guy named Chris Pine on The Finest Hours.
Yes. He'd be a good
I think
choice.
he would look really good in a Patriot uniform.
There's a lot of people saying Chris Hemsworth. There's
Yeah,
a lot
there
of
you go.
Chris's.
Yeah, a lot of Chris's in this.
There are a lot of Hollywood actors that
It's a great role
they're
for
going to call
somebody.
their agent.
That's right.
No, Dave, Wedge, Casey Sherman, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck
Thanks,
with the
guys, for having us.
The book is 12, the inside story of Tom Brady's fight for redemption. Get it wherever you get your books.